Hey, Bill, I was just going over these notes and...
Don't you ever knock!
But, Bill, you're the one that called me in here.
Fine, just do it next time, okay? Just shut the door, I have something to talk to you about.
Okay. Well, what is it that you want to talk about?
Look, I've been seeing all these video game companies making consoles and making bakoodles of money. And here at Microsoft, it's basically our motto. We like money. Starting right here, right now, we're going to begin the planning stages of the world's newest and greatest gaming console.
I mean, I think that's more than okay, but I mean, what would we even call it?
What do you mean, what are we gonna call it? Obviously, we'll call it the Xbox.
The Xbox, the only series of consoles that are still around that have not won a console war. That's not even an opinion. Every single PlayStation console has sold more units individually than the best-selling Xbox console, the Xbox 360, ever did. That's not to say I dislike the Xbox. All I'm saying is if it came down to my 360 or an air purifier, I think we know which one I'd pick. The concept for the Xbox was first decided on when Bill Gates decided he didn't have enough money yet. To be fair, the Xbox was actually a fairly ambitious project. The idea was to make a gaming console that was as close to a gaming PC as possible. Also, initially, it was thought that the Xbox would run on Windows. So after years of development, the time was coming close to reveal the final design of the Xbox. But as everybody knows, you need a celebrity to promote anything nowadays. And boy oh boy did Bill Gates have the perfect one.
Hey Gil, come back in here.
What is it, Bill?
Guess who I just got to agree to reveal the Xbox with me, Bill Gates?
Britney Spears?
Nope, even better.
Eminem?
Even better.
Denzel Washington.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You've done it again, Bill.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, sayer of quotes such as,
The Xbox is everything The Rock is. Cutting edge, powerful, exhilarating, and like The Rock, it will be the most electrifying thing coming out this year.
I genuinely so badly want to know how much he got paid to walk on the stage for 3 minutes and talk about how great he thought the Xbox was. I mean, let's be real here. When you have a controller that looks like this, there needs to be a lunch, okay? They need to invite the person who designed this and ask him if he's okay. The Xbox launched in late 2001 and actually did fairly well in the beginning here in North America. It sold about 1.5 million units here in North America before the end of its launch year. Meanwhile, it struggled in Japan very badly. It didn't do as well in this part of the world due to the kinds of games that were being released for it. The games that were made for the Xbox were widely more for the American audience as opposed to any other audience really. And one other big problem that Microsoft was facing was that they didn't have a mascot. Nintendo had Mario, Sega had Sonic, Sony had Crash and Spyro at the time. So what have we learned from Bill Gates when you don't have something? You buy it.
Hey, Bill, so here's a list of gaming companies that we've been looking at to buy out to develop for the Xbox. I was going to see if you'd give them a look over.
Yes.
Rare, or also called Rareware, creator of classics such as Banjo-Kazooie, GoldenEye 007, Perfect Dark, Conker's Bad Fur Day. Really, the list goes on and on. See, up to this point, Rare was developing nearly exclusively for Nintendo. Microsoft, Activision, and Nintendo were all in talks with Rare about potentially buying them. However, Nintendo just really wasn't taking it that seriously. They were very interested in selling Rare to Activision, however, Microsoft had a lot more money to offer. So on September 24th, 2002, Microsoft purchased Rare for a whopping $375 million. If you adjust that for today's inflation, it'll be around $537 million. Oh, also they bought Bungie, the creators of Halo, but to me personally, as somebody who doesn't really care about Halo, the character really just seems like Bill Gates said,
Do you see this? Make this a boy and make it green, now.
As per usual, as soon as Microsoft got their hands on a new game studio, it immediately got bad. Several projects ended up getting shelved, and then for whatever reason, we started getting games that look like this. For a long time, Rare really didn't do anything notable for Microsoft. They went from being one of the top dogs during the N64 era, and developing 4 of the top 10 most sold N64 games, to working on Xbox Live avatars and Kinect games. Not to mention, when Microsoft finally let them make a sequel to one of their most popular franchises, it sucked. Both of the first Banjo-Kazooie games sold millions of copies, so why did it take them so long after they purchased Rare to finally let them have another Banjo-Kazooie game? And now in recent years, they've just been making it worse and worse. Microsoft has been treating Rare's properties kinda like... In 2016, Microsoft wanted to show off their Microsoft Hololens. So instead of thinking of an original idea or some basic concept, they decided to take a beloved video game character, Conker, from Conker's Bad Fur Day, and turn him into a little AR type of game.
Conker's a much beloved property that has a huge following. We worked with Rare and came up with the idea of using young Conker.
So the first time Conker walks across a couch and he starts bouncing. Wait a minute, how do you know that's a couch?
Conker's a much beloved video game character. That's why we completely and totally butchered him and spat in the face of anybody who calls themselves a fan. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a Conker fan. I've never even played the games. But you cannot tell me that Microsoft didn't know that this would be harmful to the fan base. A very similar thing occurred with the Kinect and Banjo-Kazooie. They were basically reduced to a tech demo to show off the Kinect and how it can function with a bunch of people in an audience. Oh, and this Banjo-Kazooie tech demo was from 2015. Keep in mind, we haven't seen anything Banjo-Kazooie related in 7 years with the exception of their inclusion in Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing on the Xbox 360. And then out of nowhere, they give us a tech demo of these beloved characters, again, spitting in the face of people who have wanted something new from this franchise. And it's not like it's just me. Take a look at any comment on any version you can find of any of these videos. There's most likely more dislikes than likes, and there's tons and tons of comments saying, why? Why would they do this? One of the few highlights that's even happened since all of this has gone down is that Banjo-Kazooie's finally been represented in Super Smash Bros., a request that's been going on for nearly 20 years now. One can only hope for a Banjo-Kazooie game on the new Xbox Series X as well as a Conker game, but given Xbox's record, I really wouldn't count on it. What's so crazy is that all of this has been going on since 2002. Rare was bought because they thought it would make the Xbox successful. I kinda wonder how that turned out for them.
Bill. The Xbox is not doing as well as we had hoped. What are we gonna do? I'm already one step ahead.